It is your boyfriend on the beat.
What's up? What it do? Back with another video. So check this out, y'all. We got a video today. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry, my bad. I ain't asking how y'all was doing today. How y'all doing today? Hope y'all doing good today on this good Father Day. Good old Father's Day. All right. So all the fathers out there, you know what I mean? Happy Father Day. The ones really out here trying to be in their kids' lives and doing what they need to be doing. Happy Father's Day. All right. It's up. It's, know what I mean? It's a celebration for us, you know what I mean? Even though we have a hard time and we don't get celebrated like the mothers do, as you can see. Like for instance, you know what I mean? I was out yesterday just noticing certain things, like I was going to different stores and I didn't see not a Father's Day advertisement, not one place at all. Now, that bothers me because then it shows me once again that I was right from what I was saying. Like fathers are we're not recognized like that for real. We're not appreciated. You like if they only knew, fathers are the ones who really can change a home. Fathers are the ones can really change a child's mindset, can really put something in a child that can really push them forward. You know what I mean? And if you don't know this, just go and if you're out here dating or you out here got friends and family that speak about they didn't have a father in their life, and just ask them how you think it would have been if you would have had your father in your life, and watch how great it would have. Well, in some cases they would have been like, yeah, you know, it'd have been very great. But then in some cases, of course not, because some people are crazy. But anyway, in my case, you know, I'm speaking about the fathers that really in their kids' life who can really make an impact. But I didn't see no advertisement, none like leading up to it or anything like that. Like, and it's kind of sad, man. And like, I wonder who set it up like that. And then like, I look at these corporate places where all of them, I'm gonna just say all of them, Walmart, Kmart, everybody, you know what I mean? They out here they advertise women, Mother Day, they advertise it hard, you know what I mean? Advertise Easter and stuff like that. But they don't really push for men. They don't really advertise Father's Day, you know what I mean? So like, what about us? You know what I mean? We'll love to be celebrated like that. Only thing we get is, you know what I mean, we get dragged through the mud with child support and the court system and stuff like that. Sometimes, you know, treat us like we secondhand citizens and stuff like that. And even now, like, father, shit ain't nothing. But anyway, no more than all that. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna get too long winded about that as well. Because I ain't gonna lie, I did get celebrated today. You know what I mean? I was appreciative about it. But I'm just saying, just in the global aspect, we're not really celebrated. But anyway, got a video today, and the title was "The Shocking Reason Why They Call Blues the Devil Music." The reason why I picked this video was because I went and seen the movie Sinner. If you didn't know that I watched the movie Sinners, you can go to my vlog channel, Days Vlog, DAZ, as in zebra, E vlogs, and it's on there where I went and seen the movie, and I kind of gave my critique about it, how I felt about the movie. But if you know me, if anybody know me, they know I love music. You know what I mean? I love music. I love music. I love music. I love music. I can't say it to me. I can't just stress the issue about the fact that I love music and all types of music, right? So once again, you know, I listen when I was younger. I used to listen to different music and then get like different vibes from it. To get different emotions from it. So one day my soundtrack might be Lil Wayne, and I'm feeling a certain way. And then the next day it might be Robin Thicke. Then the next day it might be J. Cole. Then the next day it might be B2K or Chris Brown. You know what I mean? Like that was my sound dealing with some of my soundtracks. John Legend, Carl Thomas. You know what I mean? And Anthony Hamilton, Urban Mystic. You know what I mean? Shout out to him. That was a down south stable. Johnny Taylor. You know what I mean? I got so many people that I used to listen to when there was soundtracks of my life. And like they was a soundtrack of how I dressed, if that makes sense. Like you in the house, got the music playing, and you know what I mean, you're putting your clothes on. You know, you feeling like plies today. You want to put your jewelry on and your glasses on, your hat, your big T. You know what I mean? Everybody know who know. You know what I mean? Like that was the thing back then, back in the day. Or you want to, you know, you want to feel like Wayne. You want to go outside with your shirt off. You know what I mean? No tattoo, nothing. Just want to have your shirt off, feeling like him, like you the hottest thing under the sun. You know, it all depends on the music. The music was the soundtrack of life in a lot of people's lives, and music is all around us, and it's very important, and it's very embedded into our communities of where we live at these day and times. And actually, music is really running the world right now. You know what I mean? It channels certain things and it changes certain situations. You know what I mean? So Yeah, but anyway, got a video. We've been to watch or whatever. Been trying to tell you kind of about the origin of blues music and how evil it is. You know what I mean? So watch it with an open mind. You know what I mean? Leave your comments and all that good stuff in the comment section. But we ain't gonna waste no more time. We're gonna go ahead and jump into it. All right. I don't know why I did that.
Humid Mississippi twilight. It's around 1915 outside of Clarksville, Mississippi. Along sun-drenched dirt roads, a ragged wooden shack pulses with music. Inside, lanterns swing, casting dizzying shadows over bodies sweating and swaying. Guitars growl, feet stomp, dancers shout, and the moonshine flows freely. Rules seem to be forgotten. These are unabashed temples of the blues, where cowboys and cotton pickers gather every Saturday night just to feel alive after a week of back-breaking toil. This music was their freedom. It was honest and daring, yet filled with sorrow. But as these same notes trail off into the air, floating across fields and dark woods till they reach another small shack, there a mother kneels over her children, clutching a Bible. She whispers a Bible verse, dreading the sinful sound drifting from those cursed clubs. After all, it's Saturday night, and tomorrow is the day of salvation. Church bells ring in judgment, warning that no good ever came from the devil's music. Blues and religion are neighbors trapped in conflict, waging a cultural war that defined a generation of music. So join us today while we tell the tale of the devil's music. And if you like stories like this, you can find more stories like this at onemichistory.com. If you like audio only episodes, you can find my podcast wherever you find your podcast. But without further ado, how did blues gain the reputation of the devil's music? Let's take a step back to the beginning. At the tangled crossroads between...
All right, so hold on, y'all. I got some, y'all. Drop the name of the soundtrack that you always heard when you was younger in the comments. All right. Drop the name of the song that you always used to hear when you was younger, like that number one song. I think I can remember one was Soul Heaven. You know what I mean? That was one of them songs that, you know, we always played at cookouts, holidays, in the house, you know what I mean, by yourself, you know what I mean? People ride to it like they playing some Wayne or something. Like, that's how it was down south. But that song, that Soul Heaven, that song was one of them songs, you know what I mean? That was on spin in almost everybody's house. You know what I mean? Soul Heaven. That was a good one.
Between freedom and the lingering shadows of enslavement. Despite popular belief, the blues didn't emerge from enslavement, but rather rose dramatically from its complicated aftermath, the heavy contradictions of emancipation. When the chains fell, liberation arrived weighted down by poverty, exclusion, and relentless hardship. And out of this paradoxical freedom, authentic and powerful music emerged. In those Delta fields, along southern plantations, black men and women drew upon generations of musical traditions, work songs, spirituals, field hollers that whispered tales of oppression endured and resilience gained. Embedded in their melodies were cultural memories from Africa's western coast, rhymes and refrains guarded like sacred heirlooms across generation. Released from their bondage, these ancestral voices began to evolve, gradually shifting away from stories of survival towards something more personal, expressions of love, loss, sadness, longing, defiance, betrayal, humor.
A lot of emotions, man. A lot of emotions that goes into blues, man. Music. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I remember when I first started listening to blues, it did make me feel away. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Blues music is different than any music that you can listen to. I promise you. Like I said, blues is more of a soul searching type of music, man, where might be a little too loud. My bad, y'all. Take it from my mouth a little bit, my mic a little bit. But yeah, like I was saying, like blues it's a different type of music, man, where it can really have you feeling away, man. Have you in instance in a realm where you be emotional. It can pull you in, and then not only that, it'll put you in a situation that the person is singing. It'll make you feel the way they're feeling. It'll make you visualize what they're visualizing, and you'll take on that same spirit. You know what I mean? And they're like that. That's dangerous, and that's sometimes dangerous in some cases because with music comes spiritual and spirits and stuff like that. So you don't want to be conjuring up a spirit that you don't know based on what somebody else sung or what they wrote. And because they wrote it and they try to conjure up maybe it could be an evil spirit and you don't know, but you singing it and that evil spirit come upon you, and now you're acting different when you hear the song. You're just saying different things now. Like it's because of the songs that you're listening to. It's the music that you listen to, and how much of it is you listening to it. How much you listening to when you do listen to it. You know what I mean?
Joy. This was the blues, born raw, honest, and pulsing with life. But this moment of truth collided dramatically with a formidable force, the Black church. Consider Charlie Patton. He was a pioneering bluesman who mastered music through traditional hymns and spirituals sung faithfully at his local church. When Patton began to embrace the blues, swapping out Sunday mornings for smoky Saturday nights, he faced alarm and outright hostility from church elders and family alike. Patton's choices weren't simply controversial, they were outright transgressions. Church leaders openly branded blues performances and the guitar as the devil's business, and young musicians like Patton found themselves caught between the uncomfortable pull between the sacred expectations and the secular truths. Yet, even this could not suppress someone like Patton, who discovered liberation and power in the bending of strings between haunting riffs and gravelly verses. These tensions reverberated powerfully throughout the Black community across the South. Patton's struggles were not unique. Countless blues artists navigated similar roles, bridging Saturday night indulgences with Sunday morning sanctuaries across kitchen, church steps, and dusty crossroads. The blues rapidly gained notoriety as the devil's music. Musicians who dared to tread these paths were no longer seen merely as entertainers. They were rebels, disturbers of traditions, and challengers of religious authority. And this is where it gets.
And then also too, there he go. That's the guy right there. I just knew they were gonna put his name in here. He was one of the originators. But y'all gotta remember where music came from. It was here way before we got here. Way before we got here. We talking about back in the motherland, you know what I mean? When they was doing their rituals and stuff like that. That's where it came from, if you didn't know or not. That's where it came from. Back in those days where there was the songs were more rituals and spiritual than anything, and then it came to the US, we put our twist on it, and then boom, we got blues, spiritual blues.
Deeper, because in steps the story of Robert Johnson. It was said that Robert could not play the guitar worth a lick. Then one day he disappeared.
Robert, he famous.
Church folks whispered, wondering where Robert had gone off to. And then he returned shortly thereafter with skillful fingers, agile as they come. The townsfolk whispered in horror. A soul cost a heavy price. Johnson, they claimed, sold his eternal salvation at the crossroads to the devil himself for the price of musical genius. And this local rumor became enduring Southern mythology.
So I was just going to say that. What if it was just a rumor that everybody said, Because I remember when I was growing up, if a rumor got out about anybody and it wasn't real, they made it real. Like people treated you as if it was real. So like, just what if he vanished, he left, to go get training, to go get help or something, to get from somebody or something, or just went out on his own to get better and just locked in, He came back and he good. And it only take one person out of the group that people listen to say, this and that. All right, that's what it is. That's what we're running with. That's what we're gonna believe. You know what I mean? So it could have been that, but then at the same time, you just never know because hey, this music industry is showing something different to make you believe that he probably did went down to the crossroads, as they say, and so gave something up, sacrificed something for music. You just never know. I wasn't there, but good stories though for sure.
It was a deal that became the gospel itself to church folks. And Johnson himself even sang about it, stating that I went down to the crossroads, fell down to my knees,
Oh
asked the
wow.
Lord for mercy, save poor Bob, if you please.
Yeah, I didn't see
Thus,
that. That
this
picture
took
crazy.
hold,
The
and the
horns, that's
blues
crazy.
was forever etched in Americans' consciousness as the devil's music. But around the same time, there was a great current of social struggle that was reshaping entire Black communities. Just before World War I, there was an extraordinary shift called the Great Migration, which launched millions of African Americans away from Southern.
All right, so this picture kind of throwing me off. All right, so now I'm looking at this picture. Why in the world the lady in the pro this person is in the white? You can't even see them, but you can see everybody else very crystal clear. So what's up with that? Like, what was they doing with that? That's that part of the picture. Could that look like something like it don't even supposed to belong there? That's creepy. That's real creepy. But then also, why do they why are they trying to put our music so bad and so deadly? You know what I mean? Because you know why? Let me tell you why they named it the blues and why they want to make it seem like it's so bad. It's because they don't want to hear our pain, our cry about the hurt they put on us that we had to endure, or not even our struggles as a Black person and the things we had to go through. And they didn't want to hear that because it's too much to hear. So what they do is they try to put a taint on it to take ears off of it, so it doesn't make anything arise. If that makes sense, you know what I mean. You try to keep everybody on a level to where they don't rise up against these few people. Just like with the Bible, you know what I mean. Same thing. They don't touch it because it's working. And like my mama said, she always tell me, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Let it run till it can't run no more. And that's what's going on right now.
Towns and countryside scarred by relentless prejudice, poverty, and brutality. Families packed their threadbare belongings in suitcases and trunks, bundles tied with cord, aboard trains towards uncertain new cities like Chicago, Detroit, St. Louis, and New York, and with them their voices, their stories, and above all, the blues. The blues flourished with the same relentless energy that drove these families northward to challenge and confront
Beautiful
the
people, man.
haunting
Beautiful
contradictions
time.
of freedom burdened
Maya
by
Rainey, I remember her.
poverty and violence and discrimination. And now, on those rail lines, spreading upwards from Delta Crossroads, the sound began to etch into urban landscapes far from its rural origins. In 1920, a defining moment arrived when Mamie Smith, a blues vocalist with a fearlessly captivating voice, slipped into a small recording studio in New York and sang a song called Crazy Blues. When Mamie Smith could scarcely predict how dramatically this simple act would transform American music. Almost overnight, Crazy Blues blew away all expectations, selling 75,000 copies within
Jeez.
a few weeks of its
Jeez.
release. It was an unprecedented number. The blues was no longer confined to juke joints and informal gatherings underneath the southern sky. Suddenly, it traveled out across city streets, filled apartments with crackling record players everywhere, and America had found something that it simply could not ignore: a fresh, provocative voice deeply rooted in the Black experience. And yet, as the music spread, so did controversy, alarm, and fierce opposition. Religious leaders, echoing their elders from Southern communities, quickly brandished the blues as morally corrupt, dangerous, and even sinful. Preachers delivered fervent sermons, railing against these sultry rhymes, warning the congregations that the devil hid in every note, every emotional lyric, and every rebellious performance. Parents
That
worried too,
and
forbidding their young, eager listeners from
and like
gathering in
right there,
halls.
see that I'm saying, like the right there. They use the church to try to, you know what I mean, knock it off, try to shun it off as if it's not nothing big, you know what I mean, it's not nothing to be listening to. Now, I'm gonna say this. If you got any kind of sin in your life, which we all do, I'm not saying, you know what I mean, don't keep doing it because hell, we doing sin anyway. What I'm saying is you got to remember where did it come from? Like, who was the person who was the big person said don't listen to, and then that's it, and it's pretty much deemed don't listen to. Who is this person that made that that decision. You know what I mean? And not only that, why are we pushing it as if that is bad? Because at the same time, shit, people still listen to blues. The people that go to church still listen to blues and all that good stuff like that. And all blues music is not bad. All of it is not bad. You know what I mean? So don't be afraid to listen to. But hey, some music, rap music is more. It sounds like it's more worse than blues. To be honest with you, hell, if you want to really, if you really want to dig into it, like they blatantly say it and they demonstrate in their videos and all type of stuff. You know.
And clubs where the music now thrived. Yet, as church
And rap is
communities
nothing but
battled
blues, to be
against
honest.
Charlie
Sped
Patton's
up
Saturday Night
blues.
Blues back in Mississippi,
Up tempo
Northern
blues.
voices condemnation also struggled against the inevitable. Controversy only made the music more exciting, more alluring. Each angry parent simply fueled the fire. Blues could continue to surge in popularity. And it was around this pivotal moment that musician and composer C.W. Handy, known as the father of the blues, pushed the genre even further from its origins. Handy understood that this musical legacy could challenge and uplift in equal measure, and carefully transcribed and arranged traditional blues songs and new compositions for orchestras, bands, and formal dance halls nationwide. Blues was shedding its rustic boundaries and claiming its place along the nation's cultural stage, transforming itself into America's own musical idiom, intricate and powerful. Yet, as blues grew, it never traveled far away from its rural roots. It remained fiercely tied to its beginnings, and those very early tensions were never resolved. Take Muddy Waters, for instance, a young bluesman who moved north to Chicago, and his grandmother told him when he first picked up the harmonica, "Son, you're sinning, you're playing for the devil, and he gonna get you." However, Waters' passion for the music of the South was even more resolute. That raw pain, the lingering redemption feel from his stirring performances, answered his moral objection, insisting that blues wasn't demonic, it was simply honest. This refusal to be silenced.
That's what I was saying. See, that's what I was saying. Some music is not blues music. Is not all bad. It just people don't like you know how you do things to people. Some people like you can't. You just don't want to hear. Some people don't want to hear their flaws of what they've done to other people, so they get mad and try to shun away from it and try to do things to deflect it. Like I feel like that what happened with blues. You know what I mean? You got a few people that go up top saying, "Nah, this and that." Next, they want to hear the turmoil or the hurt that people that's putting on them. You know what I mean? That's pretty much blaming them for what they did, and then they try to shut it down by going through the church, because once again, faith is really leading the leading sword or the leading thing of the world right now. Like it's not money, it's not food, it's not people, it's faith, it's religion. So long as you can tap into a few pastors and a few preachers and stuff like that, and they can get in there and preach what you want them to preach, you're gonna change. You're gonna change the culture. You know, you're gonna change the world for sure. You know what I mean? That's why you see a lot of preachers right here got a lot of money and stuff, and they doing good for themselves. Because normally, you know what I mean, I'm supposed to be that way. It's because they're in the pockets of other people that's giving them money to keep them, you know what I mean, in place to keep preaching and roofing for this stuff. Because then you got them. But also, you look at it like this: if blues so bad, why are they playing remix of rap music in these churches? Why are they dancing to this music in these churches? No matter what, that's just like having a loaded gun. So you telling me because the gun is, I have the gun, but I ain't got the bullets, that still doesn't deem to be bad? If I get caught with it, I'm supposed to have it? Think about that. At the end of the day, you still getting caught because you had no matter if you had the bullets or not, you had the gun. You ain't supposed to have no gun. So yes, you gonna get in trouble. So for everybody thinking that, you know what I mean, because you in church, you safe, and then a little bit of a remix of a song, it ain't gonna hurt nobody. So think of it this way, another analogy. God said he'd rather have you hot or cold, not lukewarm. Ain't that kind of like lukewarm to me? To you? Ain't that kind of like lukewarm? Because you're still playing something that the devil's still finding his way, some kind of way in there. The fumes of what he's doing is still seeping into the church. You know what I mean? So you can't just say that oh, the outside world is the outside world that, or the world is in the world that. When you playing any kind of shape of rap music, any form, in the lyrics of it, the music of it, the rhythm of it, anything in any kind of way, shape or form, that if anybody can come into your church or anybody come into your situation, and you saying you're spiritual, and they can hear any kind of rap music or something similar to it. Because remember, when they pray over this music and when they do it, whatever they think they do to this music, they do it to the whole thing. They don't just do it to the lyrics. They do it to the melody, to the bass. They do it to the whole song. They put in the spirit over the whole song. So yes, they want you to put that. They want you to put that Plies and the Plies soundtrack, just the music on a gospel track. Because at the end of the day, guess what? They're just gonna bring turmoil because it's a bad apple in the bunch. You know what I mean? One bad apple can spoil the bunch. That's the method they are using to get us. So if I was you, I want to, if you're going to preach a campaign about not having no kind of, about music being misogynist and stuff like that, don't play none of that music around the way of who you are and where you at. And not even, I ain't going to even point it at churches all the way. I'm going to point it at people that saying they just up and down, just Bible thumpers, you know what I mean? Or really live by, this real spirituality, but then turn around behind closed doors doing something else. If you playing music, rap music, without the words, but the lyrics, but the song, you're still part of what you're part of the cause. You're part of the reason, because once again, you're getting that song spins by taking the song and edit it to where you put your Christian words on it, and then you know what I mean, still got the rap on it. It doesn't make it's still dirty. It still ain't right. You know what I mean? It still ain't right. And I know for a fact, it comes a time in our lives we come to a crossroad and they say, hey, this ain't right, but we still do it because guess what? We want more people want to fill the church up. We want to get more money in there. We want to get tithes. So we're gonna switch it up a little bit. At the end of the day, it's still wrong. Still wrong.
Lit fires across America by
Just had to
the
get that out the way,
1940s
y'all.
and
Be ramming
1950s,
too.
and
I
new
be talking,
generations
man.
of voices emerged,
B.B.
amplified
King.
and electrified. Musicians like B.B.
He's like the
King
LeBron
and
James
Howlin'
of
Wolf
blues.
swapped acoustic guitars for electric ones, pouring their truths louder and clearer into crowded clubs,
I remember when he was
smoky
living,
juke
man.
joints, and urban
He used to be a
neighborhoods
cold
far
guy.
from the Mississippi Delta.
Howlin'
The
Wolf. I
blues
remember
spread
him.
its irresistible wave, migrating from southern towns to bustling cities like New York and Chicago and beyond. Yet, even these musicians found voices powerful enough to shake walls and rattle church pews. The resistance would linger. Church elders, rooted communities, and moral authorities still labeled it as dangerous, rebellious, even the devil's music, associating black music with sin, excess, and cultural revolt. Musicians face scrutiny and judgment from their own hometown congregations, living with this tension between Saturday night and Sunday morning. And still, artists like Sister Rosetta Tharpe defiantly blurred boundaries, electrifying gospel and challenging the preconceived notions of sacred and secular music. And as time went by, generations shifted, and children who secretly listened at night would openly love and celebrate black music, race
Very.
records, the
Okay.
blues. Its
He got the greats up
influence
here.
began to permeate outward, weaving itself into jazz melodies, gospel harmonies, and eventually fueling the birth of rock and roll itself. Elvis Presley, who was raised in a black community
Elvis.
on Southern gospel, yet
Copier,
electrified by
man.
the blues,
He
secretly
was copying them
stepping
boys'
into
drip, man.
Memphis clubs.
Yeah, hold on. I'm gonna say this. Back in the day, this one he was really there was copying the sauce, man. And he was making it his own, reinventing it, you know what I mean? And Mr. Elvis Presley, he wasn't original. He was taking people's music, man. He was taking it, making it seem like it was his. You know what I mean? And it probably wasn't all him. It was probably other people, how I was back in the day. Y'all got a black Messiah, we want a white Messiah. You know what I mean? And I ain't trying to be racist or nothing like that at all, period. But that's just how it was, and everybody knows it's how it was back in the day. If we had one over here, they created one over there. If that makes sense, which is not good. And also, I'm not saying it's a black and white thing. I'm saying it's a type of white thing. I ain't gonna say white, Caucasian. It's a type of Caucasian, not all. It's a type. It's a type of. It's a certain bloodline that I'm talking about. You know what I mean? That have done this to us. You know what I mean? Because I ain't gonna lie, I got some cool people that I really mess with and locked in with. You know, and I really talk to, and they real wholesome people. And once again, I don't judge by no color at all. I promise you, I don't. I do not judge by the color. I'm talking about history and how it was set up back then. And how it was set up back then was a certain type of people was against everybody else. Didn't matter what race you was or what kind of what background you was. If you don't believe me, go watch some movies, go read some books, and then they'll pretty much tell you what was going on, who was who. You feel me? That'll tell you about it. So once again, don't think that I'm racist. I'm not, because I love all people. I really do, and I promise anybody know me knows. Like I've been cool with all types of people, Dominican, Haitian, African, Somalian. Like I've been cool. I've had a lot of people that I've been locked in with for real, like on some locking in for real, cool level type stuff, man. So it ain't. That's why I tell y'all, I don't want y'all to think that I'm trying to be racist and nothing like that. I'm not. Hell, my brother, you know what I mean, he mixed, you know what I mean. So like, it ain't nothing. I still love him. It ain't nothing changed. Shit, for real. But yeah, that's all I'm saying, y'all. So I just want to put that out so y'all won't get misconstrued about it. You know what I mean? Just that's how they do it. They want to put something out there against us to try to combat what we got going on because they know it's so superior, and they put so much behind that person to try to take the light off of what we got going on and put it on them. And that's exactly what they did with the Elvis and BB King thing. That's where that came from.
This would carry this legacy of the blues. Aretha Franklin, the daughter of a preacher,
Hey,
borrowed blues,
better talk
defiant
to her.
soulfulness,
Come on,
craft,
Aretha
honest
Franklin, man.
R&B. And across
Man.
oceans, bands like the Rolling Stones and later pop icons like Beyonce drew deeply from
Yeah.
the blues' legacy, embracing
Yeah.
the rebellious honesty and the emotional intensity. Today, the stages may glitter brighter, the venues may grow larger, but underneath this polish remains the blues' raw truth. Each guitar note, each soulful song carries with it this historical weight of defiance, resilience, sorrow, and profound joy. Stepping back, we recognize that there is indeed a devil at the crossroads, but not a literal one, but a figurative one, a vivid representation of society's fears surrounding emotional release, cultural rebellion, and self-expression through music. Indeed, the true crossroads bargain that blues musicians made was simply to exchange society's comfortable silence and its easy judgment for honest, truthful stories sung boldly and unapologetically. Thank you. This has been One Mic Black History. I'm your host, Country Boy.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
This is the story of the devil.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. That was a good video right there. So that was some good information right there. I like videos like that. I like doing YouTube, and y'all don't understand, man. YouTube is one of my things, one of my passions, man. I love doing this, y'all. Like, I've never been so consistent at something so much, you know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like, I've never been so consistent with something that like with YouTube, you know. I make this a part of my day, part of my life, because I want to get better at it. I want to be one of the best, you know what I mean? But once again, that comes with a cost. It comes with time and patience, you know what I mean? You just never know when your time will come. Yeah, it could be tomorrow my time come where I can blow up. Just never know. That one video can take me where I need to go, but it's gonna take me there. It's gotta keep going, keep improving. You know what I mean? My channels and stuff like that, which is what I'm doing now, and I feel so good about it because I know it's gonna happen. It's just a matter of time of me cooking up that batch and dropping it, and just seeing the results of it. You know what I mean? It's just a matter of time. But I want to thank everybody for watching my videos with me, supporting me. You know what I mean? And good stuff like that, checking in. All that good stuff like that. I really appreciate y'all because it's really motivating me, helping me to go. It ain't gonna stop no time soon. I'm here to inform, teach, preach a little bit about life and my walk in life and good stuff like that. Hope y'all be there with me and keep being here with me to support me. And that's the end of this video, y'all. Anything y'all want to see, let me know. DM me on my social medias. It's in the bio. Check it out. You know, I mean, in the that's at the bio. In the description, check it out. Let me know how y'all feel about it. Drop it now. I can do a reaction video to it. But until then, in between time, to next time, may God be with y'all. Y'all stay blessed up, stay peaceful, love who love you. Drink your water. All right. Happy Father's Day to them fathers again. And this has been a presentation of Dave's channel 444. Peace.